Welcome back, Shadow Sessions Paranormal fam. We're back with another podcast episode, and we are back yet again with another guest. Please welcome our friend Chris Baird. Welcome, Chris. Thanks for coming on. We appreciate you. We haven't had very many guests. I think you're our fourth or fifth guest. So we appreciate you coming on. So welcome. Do you want to introduce yourself to our 48 subscribers that we have on YouTube?
Yeah, I think we got to 49 now.
We might even be at 50.
One. Who knows?
We might even be at 50. I don't know. But you want to introduce
it's 48
yourself?
now. Yeah.
Look, we'll catch
Just
up.
wait till after this. So
We'll
it'll be
catch
good.
up
But
one day.
no, yeah, just you guys got to keep grinding away, and I do appreciate you guys inviting me. This is honestly the first ever podcast I've been invited to, so I feel honored. I appreciate
Really?
it.
Look
Yeah,
at us
I don't know.
go.
First one, so I couldn't say no. I was like, of course, this would be fun. But yeah, my name's Chris Baird. I guess I'm a full-time YouTuber, filming anything paranormal, scary. We've been doing a lot of camping lately. Yeah, I don't know. I just enjoy the thrill of, I don't know, whether it's being in the woods or an old abandoned building, whatever it is. Just like getting the crap scared out of me. I'm not your traditional paranormal person, probably not liked by a lot of the paranormal community because I run and scream and yell and use Spirit Talker and all the apps on my phone. But yeah, I don't know. I'm blessed to do what I do. Like I said, this was never something I thought I'd be doing, just making videos for a living. But it's an amazing life, and I'm very, very blessed to do what I do every day. So it's a ton of fun to get to meet people like you guys, which is awesome. So
Yeah.
thanks for having me on, though.
Yeah, for sure. So you said you do YouTube full time. How long have you been kind of going down that path?
Yeah, so like the full time on my channel, I started in March of last year, so I'm just about almost to my year anniversary.
Wow.
But prior to that, I've worked for a couple of different YouTubers who do this as well. So not really new to me, but doing it myself is brand new, and having my own schedule is crazy, awesome. We get to sleep in every day. I have to wake up and go to work early, which is the biggest blessing because I've never been one to be on time to work. I mean, God, it's so rough waking up at 6 a.m.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's cool.
where are you based out of? Like, are you East Coast, West Coast? Kind of where do you call home, I guess?
Yeah, I'm on the East Coast. I'm in Utica, New York, so we're upstate, like 4 hours from the city, like dab smack middle of New York State.
I feel like a lot of paranormal investigators are from New York. I know, like Dylan and Steve are from New York. The guys from Paranormal Theory are from New York or New Jersey.
New Jersey.
Up that way.
Neighbors.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Look, East Coast and Midwest is the spot to be for paranormal shit, honestly.
Well, you think about it, I mean,
100%.
it's the history, and it's the oldest part, not necessarily the oldest part, but building wise, the history that the East Coast has compared to West Coast. I mean, it's a 100-year difference. So
now
there's a lot more there.
Being based in New York, I know that New York has a billion historic haunted locations. Like New York is such a hot spot for these locations. What would be your favorite New York location?
Yo, that's tough because I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I haven't been to a lot of like the big ones, like the what's the house? The name has slipped my mind. I'm so sorry.
House?
Hinsdale House. I haven't been there. I haven't been to Wildwood. I haven't been to like the big name ones. I think the Shanley Hotel is probably the most well-known one I've been to. So I'll say that one. There's a big list of places in New York I need to hit this year. I'm not a good representative of my state, unfortunately.
Well, I think that's okay because I think almost some of the more lesser known locations sometimes are the best. Like we're working on an episode right now. Like we're all based in Ohio, so central Ohio.
Prime haunted spots.
Exactly.
Ohio is loaded.
Yeah, we were blessed to be one of the first teams in years to investigate this bar in Columbus, and we couldn't find anything about it. I think, Caleb, you found it was a Dead Files episode from 2011 or 2012, like and that was the only documented anything about this place. And we went in not with high expectations and not really with like anything. We went in and there was some stuff that happened that we were not expecting. Definitely more active than we anticipated, but it was one of those not super well-known locations that just kind of the opportunity presented itself. So what do you think would be, out of like the small, lesser known locations in New York, what do you think would be your favorite that you've done so far?
Trying to think here. It's weird. We get invited to a lot of like houses, but not. It's not like we go there to like help families. They're just like, hey, my house is haunted. There's this cabin we went to recently down towards, I'd say, like Cooperstown area, and it was just a really cool old cabin. But I don't know, like I don't have, I couldn't like name. I apologize, like not a great answer, but I don't have any great. There's actually one. There's a spot I want to go to. It's like a dream spot. I'm trying to do it. It's 5 minutes from my house. It's a restaurant called Orchard Hall, and I know the owners very well. My mom used to work there. It's a restaurant now, but there's a bowling alley, and they actually, I don't know the history perfectly, but essentially like a woman and her family lived there in like the 1800s. She passed away, and they actually left the upstairs in her bedroom all original. So it's almost like a little museum. But my mom worked there, and the chefs and everyone you talk to has stories of this place being crazy haunted. So that's somewhere I want to go to. It's just like in my hometown in Sequoia. I want to check out, but like I said, I'm a terrible representative of New York for haunted spots. Everywhere we go, it's just like these random places that don't have names. So,
well, I mean, I like I said, I think that's almost cooler, because then you're not kind of going in with any like preconceived notion. Like lots of people have been to. I mean, you haven't, but like people have been to the Hinsdale House, people have done Wildwood, people have done Trans Allegheny, they've done Penhurst, they've done all these big locations. And sometimes I think on YouTube it can be a little not repetitive, but you see all these everyone going to all these locations, and it's cool because they're always getting or you think that they're always getting activity. But it's also cool to see some of the smaller locations. And you said that you like to do the camping in the forest and stuff like that. How do you go about doing that? Because I've personally never been a huge fan of like the outside locations, because I feel like there's almost too much noise contamination. But how do you like doing those outside ones, and kind of like what's your process to kind of like rule out an animal in the woods versus like something actually paranormal or something like that?
Yeah, no, it's very tricky. We typically try to we'll use like Reddit or Google and try to find these locations. We've been in the Adirondack Mountains a lot because I tell people all the time and they don't realize it, but the Adirondack Park is bigger than like Yosemite and Yellowstone. A lot of these big national parks combined. There's like, I think it's like 6 million acres, but there was a lot of different things that have happened there. People going missing and serial killers in those areas. So we go there, we find a spot to camp wherever we pull off. And like you brought up a good point. It is hard sometimes to kind of tell what you are and aren't getting. We use EVP recorders. We use, the spirit devices on our phones. A lot of times you can't always tell, but I've spent so much time in the woods. I've grown up in the country. You kind of know like what is and isn't, a noise from the forest or a bird or an animal. So I could be wrong. Trust me, I could 100% be wrong. I could be running from a bird, climbing a tree or something. I don't know. That's why our videos are so just interesting, because a lot of times we're just yelling and screaming. I mean, we literally got attacked by a bobcat this year, which was actually crazy, but last year.
Hang on. I might need you to elaborate on that a little bit more. You were attacked by a bobcat?
Yes, I know it sounds crazy. Didn't get the bobcat itself on camera, but it was running towards us and yelling. I don't know if it was going to attack us, but I have footage. The audio was very clear. I've asked people. I asked my friend who works for the DEC. He's like, "Yeah, that was a bobcat, and it was coming after us." I was actually burying a Dybbuk box. It's a whole story, but interesting timing. Yeah, we did dumb
took
things.
A left turn.
I'm burying a Dybbuk box in the mountains, and I was attacked by a bobcat. You could put that on a shirt. Like that's
a Florida man post. Like you Google, this is how this guy either died or was arrested with this situation happened.
The problem is like it's the forest. I tell people all the time. Trust me, I've been to some of those most haunted places in the world that are alleged the most haunted. Don't get me wrong, it's scary, but when you're in the woods at 3:00 in the morning and there's nobody out there, and you hear either voices or things walking around. Again, could be animals for sure. The scariest thing in the world, and I tell people all the time, if you get a chance, do a nighttime investigation in the forest on a night that's not super windy. When it's dark, it's not super warm or super cold, so you're comfortable. It is 10 times scarier than any haunted location you'll ever go to. And I think that's what makes our videos kind of exciting and fun, because people don't do what we do, and people don't want to do what we do. There's a reason people aren't just in the woods walking around right now. It's pitch black. Like,
yeah,
it's just scary.
Camping investigation videos are like your niche. Like,
yes,
you are the only ones that I have seen do this.
It's very Blair Witch-esque.
Yeah. It's very interesting.
Yep.
Like, people are like, okay, these people are ghost hunting at Madison Seminary, ISS. Like, yes, those are great, well-known locations. But then it's like, oh, well, this guy is doing a paranormal investigation camping in the buttfuck middle of nowhere. Like, what's he up to? But how did you... Now, I know that you grew up, like, doing outdoorsy stuff and, like, camping and stuff, but how did you decide to mix the paranormal investigating stuff, like the haunted, spooky stuff, with the camping?
I think it was something that we were told about. Like, so growing up, there's this forest near my house. It's like north of Utica called Star Hill. And there's actually this serial killer, Bernard Hatch. You guys can look it up. He's a real person. He actually died a few years ago. But he
saw this
killed
on, like, Crime Talk.
Yeah, no, he's like a well-known serial killer. He killed like 20 people, dismembered, and left bodies in that forest. My whole life, I was always told growing up, do not go there, do not go there. And I didn't. I was like, okay, I'm not doing it. My parents told myself, my buddy Osco, like, don't do it. And this year, we finally decided, like, we're going to check it out. Because, you know, we have friends that go there in the daytime and get freaked out and leave when it's, again, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. They get scared. So it was just something that we thought would be different, because I was working for my buddy Jazz for a long time, and it's just like you kind of get bored doing the same thing over and over, and we never know where content's going to go, because at the end of the day, we love the paranormal, but I can't sit here and tell you right now that I'm going to be doing ghost hunting videos forever. We kind of tend to almost follow the niche and trends and different things on YouTube. We're very grateful for this community and that we've been welcomed with open arms. But yeah, it was just something we tried, and for whatever reason, these videos do so much better than your big locations. Like you said, Madison, ISS. I just posted a video from Billy Creek, and it's doing okay, but like they don't do as well as the forest videos. We spend hundreds of dollars on certain locations to go there, and it'll be a 10 out of 10. It won't do as well. So we kind of just listen to our viewers and audience and kind of what they like. And one video turned into a whole year of it. We did it for a whole year now.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that is super cool. I think you had mentioned Billy Creek. I kind of want to touch on it really quick. What was you? I've done Billy Creek before. And I have mixed opinions. I've mixed feelings on it. What's your thought on it? Like, did you guys have anything happen? Kind of walk me through, or walk us through, I guess. Kind of what happened when you guys were there.
Yeah, Billy Creek. This is gonna sound kind of lame, but like for some reason, like whenever I go to Billy Creek, like the general store is always so scary to me. Like walking in that back room, I don't know why. It just feels like.
The back
but
room,
some
like
places
where the bathrooms are.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. Isn't it creepy? I don't.
It's like the back rooms.
Yeah, I don't know why. Like I get so uncomfortable there. Some buildings there don't bother me at all, but I've had some weird experiences there. Specifically this time, if you pull into Billy Creek, like you were driving up the stores on the left, there's that cabin all the way back. That cabin provides some of the greatest and weirdest sounds I've ever heard. We captured like actual what sounded like footsteps above us at one point. My light died, and then we were trying to get my light turned on, and it sounded like someone was trying to open the door, and I don't know what was going on. We captured some weird stuff. It was just like a little like shake of that door handle. We had some good evidence, and then the Civil War house for me is just horrifying. I don't like going there by myself.
It's so far away. Cat, it's so far away from everything, because it's a good 600 yards off of that main road, because you cross over that covered bridge. And then you can go right, and it's the Billy Creek proper, and then that Civil War house is all the way over on the left, down by the animals. I kept waiting for one of those animals to like stand up and start walking towards me, because then I can be like, yeah, no fucking way, no fucking way. We had that at Hinsdale. We did me, Caleb, and 2 of our friends. We did Hinsdale in was it June or July? June or July. And there's always deer kind of like standing off in the distance. And I mean, you are in the middle of BFE when you're up there. Very limited cell service. It's gravel roads to get all the way up there. It's old native Seneca Indian land. So you already got that going for you. And there's always deer everywhere.
They're just watching.
And they're just watching. I'm like, if one of those deer stands up, I'm throwing hands. I'm a fight a Wendigo. I'm going to fight a Wendigo.
You gotta be ready for it. And deer make some weird noises too. I don't know if you've ever heard them, but they hiss and make weird, strange. Throws you off a little bit.
So with you doing I'm going to say non-traditional ghost hunting, because you're not doing like your stereotypical locations, you're doing more like out into the woods. Have you ever had any like crossover into like the UFO paranormal side of things when you've been out in the woods? And I asked that because Caleb and I had an experience at Hinsdale that kind of want to see what your opinion on it is, or if you've had anything similar.
Luckily, it was before all this drone stuff.
Yeah, now luckily it was before all the drone stuff happened. But have you ever had anything like alien paranormal wise?
As you're wearing a UFO alien.
Yeah, my merch, my merch got the alien on it.
I'm definitely gonna buy one of those because that is a sick ass logo. It's definitely.
Let me know. Yeah, I'll hook you up on that. I appreciate it. I want to hear your story when I'm done for sure. I have had some very strange experiences with, and again, it's hard to tell people that like my friends, because people think you're nuts when you start talking about aliens and UFOs. We went to the woods one time, and I don't know what was going on. We were just walking this trail that we walked 100 times, and we stopped because me and my buddy Jazz, we both looked at each other. I film with Jazz like 99% of the time. We're like best friends. We stopped and looked at each other, and we looked up because we were hearing like what sounds like your like stereotypical like UFO sound, or like woo, like a spaceship, and it went on for like 30 seconds, and we're just like staring there, looking at each other, like you're hearing the same thing as me, right? I've never like seen anything crazy that I would say is 100% a UFO. I mean, we were following the drones a few weeks ago, so we've had experiences like that. But I've heard stuff like that in the woods here, and then one time in Nevada a few months ago when we were there. Same thing. It just sounds like an actual, what I would consider a UFO you'd hear in a movie. And you don't see anything. There's no aliens walking around. But I don't know. I believe, I'm 100% a believer. I think it's the coolest thing. I'm curious to hear your guys' experience at Hinsdale.
So, do you know who Dr. Stephen Greer is?
I've heard the name, yes.
So he, absolutely fascinating individual. Used to work at Area 51, is a huge proponent of public knowledge for aliens and UFOs and stuff like that. And long or the short, he basically created this protocol called the CE5 protocol. Because like each close encounters, like levels 1 through 4, it has like a different meaning. So like each level, there's progressively more contact. And he had it was some like life or death. It was some like death-defying experience in the mountains. And these aliens essentially taught him how to communicate to them through like astral projection. So off the bat, it sounds batshit crazy. And the whole documentary is talking about it's if you search Google Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind, Dr. Stephen Greer, watch the documentary. It's absolutely fascinating. It talks about how the U.S. government used to stage alien abductions in the 80s and the 90s to kind of sway political decisions.
It's bizarre.
They would use, you can't use the word midgets anymore, but they used to use the term, they used to use little people and dress them up as aliens and would stage these abductions for these like world leaders or these government employees to like sway political decisions. It sounds fucking crazy, but basically he created this CE5 protocol, and essentially what you're doing is you're using your cosmic conscience and your astral projecting into the cosmos and saying, hey, I'm
here, this is a safe location. Please
just like you do when you're ghosting. You're like, hey spirits, I'm here, you can come talk to me. You're doing the same thing. And the best way to describe it is, like when you're on Google Earth and you're like zooming out, like you're looking at your house and you're zooming out and you're just kind of zooming out, and then you see the earth and you just keep going. That's what he's kind of saying that you're doing. So it's like this guided meditation, and we had been investigating the hint. So that's the whole concept of the CE5. And we were talking about aliens because it's a 5-hour drive from Columbus. So we were talking about stuff, just a bunch of boys being boys and talking about stuff to kind of pass the time. And we're like, fuck it, we should try CE5. Like there's some crossover between the paranormal and UFOs. And it's about 11:45, midnight. We'd been investigating for about 4 or 5 hours. We're sitting around a fire, and we are outside one of the most haunted buildings in the country, probably. And we're sitting around this fire, and we're all looking a different direction. I was like, I'm a pussy, so I'm staring at the house. Caleb is staring up at the trees to where the offering tree is, and Morgan and Brent are kind of looking opposite directions, and we have this guided meditation playing, and we're like 18 minutes in, and our buddy Brent was like, guys, look up. Now, and Caleb can attest to this, he didn't say, hey, look up at 3 o'clock. He just said, guys, look up. We're all facing different directions, and we all come out of this guided meditation, and we all just look up into the same spot. At the same time, we see this, it was like a flash of light, and then this object just appears in the sky.
And it's moving east to north direction, and it's moving.
And then it's stopping, and it's moving in like weird 90-degree angles. Like, it's not like a plane, it's not a helicopter, and like we're pulling up flight trackers and like making sure anything. And we're like, what the fuck is going on? So that's going on, and we're kind of like, not like freaking out, but we're like, what the fuck is going on? This is crazy. So we restart the process again. We kind of like, okay, like let's ground ourselves. We do it again, and 20 minutes, it's done. We start seeing all these different lights appear in the sky.
It was like stars were just appearing that, like, you know, you look up on a normal night, you see a bunch of stars, but it's like, they were one at a time just appearing as if like a cloud had moved, but it was if the entire sky was completely covered and then just disappeared right then.
We had probably the largest flash of green light that like it appeared in front of the house. So we're on the side, and it's literally like someone turned on a like floodlight. Neon green floodlight, and it just encompassed. And we're like, everyone saw that, right? And
it happened, I think 4 or 5 times.
4 or 5 times. We can't figure out where it's coming from. So we're seeing all of these different lights going on, and just to kind of like, so we're doing all this, we're seeing stuff, we're hearing stuff in the woods, we're seeing stuff moving on the tops of the trees. And I mean, these trees are 50, 60 feet in the air. So the fact that we're seeing shadows move across the tops of the trees, and we're 25 miles away from the nearest highway, and we're kind of like closing out, just like when you close out like an investigation, you're like, hey, thanks for hanging out, you can go back to where you're at. While we're doing this, all of these lights just start
going away.
And then Caleb, if you want to tell them what we heard.
He thought he was like, man, it's got to be a semi. I'm like, we're 20 miles from it. It sounded like it was an explosion, and then that typical like Jetson-esque kind of noise, but like supersonic, like boom. Then it would be that noise, and it did it twice. And he's like, man, it's got to be a semi. I'm like, there's no possible way it's a semi. We're not near any roads.
Yeah.
And it was loud. Like I
that's crazy.
Still to this day, like everybody tells a story, I'm like, I'll call 4 other people right now, and everybody will word for word tell you this story, because it's you couldn't make it up.
We talked about it on a podcast episode a couple months ago, and Olivia had never heard the full story, and we brought on Morgan, who was one of the guys that was with us, and that was the first time that we like had talked about it, and that was the first time that we talked about it in 4 months. And having that conversation and talking about it, it was absolutely crazy. But
the Hinsdale house itself, like,
felt safer.
We missed like 3 hours. It felt like we were out there for a half hour doing this, and it was 3.5 hours went past.
We lost time.
But it was one of those, I'm like, I want to go back in the house because it felt safer inside, where, you know, super haunted location where normally you're like, I don't want to go in there by myself. I would have rather been in there. And we went inside. I was like, I feel safe. I feel perfectly fine. But outside is whatever's out there. I was seeing shadows like moving by the van, like up against the garage. I don't know what was out there, what we experienced. It was a blast.
I definitely think watch that C5 documentary. And then I don't recommend doing it by yourself. You said love.
Probably wouldn't.
Well, so the crazy thing is like if you watch this documentary, there's lots of footage from the sessions that they're doing, and he's like, there's been thousands of confirmed sessions of people doing this, and no one has ever been hurt. So, but I'd recommend doing it with a buddy, so that
as much time as you spend out in the woods and everything, it's
something to try.
You should have something that happens. I would love to see.
I mean, I'm down to try it with you guys sometime. Like, no lie. Like, I'd be so down. Like, is this something you guys have done since? Like, would you do? You definitely would do it again.
We've done it one other time. Yeah, I have a cabin in West Virginia, and we tried it at. But that night, nothing happened.
No,
we do want to try. There's a place out here in Ohio. I think it's about 2 hours from Columbus
Egypt
towards
Valley.
the east side, called Egypt Valley, and there's apparently a bunch of sightings. There's been a serial killer, or a couple people were murdered, like on that property too. So it has a pretty extensive history. But we were like, we need to plan a trip out there and test this again. I mean,
it's fascinating.
I also want to try it because I hear the stories from them, and I'm like
what?
We're gonna offer you as an offering, so
have
maybe
you
they'll come.
This is what it's like being the youngest and the only girl. Is I
you voluntarily did things.
You're like, there's spirits here. You can have her. You can take her. Olivia, go do this.
The redheaded stepchild. Yep, you gotta do all the not fun stuff. I'd love to do it with you guys. Like, so real quick, I have these.
No, you're good.
Pair of they're like infrared binoculars, and when we went to the Pine Barrens about a month ago to investigate the drones with my buddy CJ Payson, and we actually saw, and I recorded it for the video I did, like these balls of light in the sky that were glowing, and they weren't moving, and they would move a little bit behind the trees. In my eyes, they were not airplanes. We were doing the same stuff with flight tracker, flight radar. Bringing those infrared binoculars could be awesome to do while we're doing that meditation, if we're able to, just to see if we could like see things like what we're actually seeing is picked up by the infrared spectrum or whatever, which I thought was really interesting.
The crazy thing is we didn't record any of it.
Always when the best stuff happens.
We didn't expect anything to happen, so it was just like, all right, let's try this. But I mean, like, even like I was saying, is like, a normal night, you look up in the sky, how many shooting stars do you think you've seen in the last 10 years?
Tons. I mean, I've seen a bunch of them. I've seen probably like 5 to 10.
We saw probably
5 to 10 in your lifetime.
My lifetime. Yeah,
we
not
saw
one time.
Probably 40 that night. And I'm like, there was no meteor shower. Like, I don't know what was going on. And it's just one after another. You're like, you saw that one?
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, definitely. The next time you're in Ohio, or the next time we're out in New York, we'll have to link up, and we'll definitely have to try it. Because the group that we did, Brent, one of the guys that came with us, so Olivia and I are guides at Fairfield, and Brent's another guide at Fairfield. Super good friends with Adam, and Brent's very analytical.
I think you might have met Brent.
Yeah, and he's kind of like a no nonsense kind of guy, and he was like, I don't know what the fuck to make of what just happened.
Well, it's something you have to have an open mind, and it's for some people, like, you can tell them, I saw this, or show them a picture or a video, and they're like, oh, cool, but that could have been a reflection or whatever. And it's good to be like that, to be open minded. So when you get somebody that's very, like, questions everything, it's cool to have them kind of struck and not really sure what they saw and experience. That's the best experience.
So kind of pivoting back towards like ghost hunting specifically. You said you've traveled all over the world, all over the United States. What do you think is probably the most like definitive evidence that you've ever captured? Whether it's like a picture or like some crazy EVP or like what do you think would be like the most like concrete, like, yep, that's fucked up, there's definitely something there. Like what do you think?
Oh man, that is so tough. There's been a couple really cool. So my buddy owns a haunted farm, and I captured something like over 2 years ago now that like people saw it and thought it was just dust or lint, but I captured this little like orb looking figure, but it wasn't shaped like a circle. It was like almost like a person in a way. And I watched it come from the other room all the way to my camera where I was holding it, and then it just keeps going. And I didn't see it with my eyes, but my camera picked it up. So that was one thing. I don't know. Every time I go to Indiana State Sanatorium, I have stuff happen. A lot of times when the camera's off, like you guys just said. We were chasing noises this weekend. Our buddy Kalani Smith was there with us. And he actually, we thought somebody was in the building. I don't know if you guys know Kalani, but he's very, how how to put it. He doesn't usually run out of buildings very much or like want to leave. He's very like, I heard a noise, I'm gonna go check it out. He left. We all three of us were together, and he was like, "No, I don't want to know what that is. I got to drive home. I'm good." And we walked out of the nurse's station because we literally thought there was someone in the building.
Dude,
and
that happened to Caleb and I. We were
insane
filming an episode with Connor Biddle from Paranormal Encounters, and we had probably some of the most wild
someone
shit.
Broke in the building.
We thought someone broke in. Like there was no way that what happened was paranormal, and the fact there was no one in the building means it had to have been paranormal. Like I'm feeling like ill just kind of like thinking about like how disgusting it was. It was disgusting.
So now,
the things you see in here.
So now ISS has a special place in my heart, but I think it's also your favorite too, right?
100%. My favorite location I've ever been to.
Do you want to elaborate on why?
Yeah, for people that have never been there, it's hard to put into words, like, because again, you walk in the buildings and the walls are falling apart and there's concrete all over the floors, and they're cleaning it up, but it's dirty per se. You wouldn't want to eat your lunch in the buildings there.
Yeah.
But whenever you walk in, you walk by the rooms in the nurse's station, and it feels like there's just people in the doorway, like looking at you as you walk by. The energy is so heavy there, and it's not always bad. Like a lot of the times, it just feels like they want someone to talk to or someone just to acknowledge them. I absolutely love the property. I love that it's set so far back in the woods. The fact that you can get on the roof of the 5-story and just look out at the place and you can see, miles and miles away. There's just so much there for every type of person because of the tunnels. Again, the roof, the 5-story, the admin building. There's so many buildings that have so much. Again, some are better than others for energy, but I always go there and I always feel welcome. Like even when it's middle of the night and I'm like scared of the things I'm hearing, it's never like it's evil or like it doesn't want you there. I don't know if you guys believe in like demons and that kind of stuff, but it's just one of the most beautiful places. It's got its own, I don't know, its own beauty to it. I don't know how to put it, patina, I guess. Yeah. And I'm sure if you guys have been there, you all have your own experiences, but I adore that place. And I hope it's there for a long time because I want to bring my kids there one day when I have kids. Like it's just so cool. You know?
It is something about that, the nurse station. Cause like the 5-story building, like, I hear all these stories. It's wild. That place felt completely calm, safe, nothing. The admin building, same way. But that nurse's building, just a sec. I don't know if it's like, I am a nurse. So it's like, maybe that has some type of connection, but it's like that building, the second we walked through there, voices sound like people were running up on us. It was so active from, it was middle of daytime when we got there and it was, everything light out and it is creepy.
5 o'clock in the afternoon in the middle of summer.
And the 5th floor are the two places that I'm like, ugh. But it's weird though, because it's really only those spots. Like every time I've gone, I've walked the whole damn property alone at 2 a.m. Like I don't know. It's almost like calming, like you said. It's like you don't feel now. When I'm alone through the nurse's station, I haul my little ass through there.
Not there.
But it's like it's almost just calming because it's like the history, and there was like a lot of like sad energy, a lot of like lonely people, this and that, and it's very like I don't know how to describe it, but
there's like nothing more humbling than walking back into the one room that has all the belongings by the mechanical rooms back there.
Yeah.
There's nothing more humbling than walking in there and just looking at all the different stuff because people were brought there and their personal belongings were just shoved in a room.
One of my favorite
you just realize how many thousands
of
people went through.
A realization is finding the suitcases or the sweaters that have the names in them. And like, I almost want to look all these people up and like find obituaries and it's like the only way that like people here know you is because you have a sweater on property or something. That's like it's so sad, but it's like the property itself is it's beautiful. It's the most beautiful place I've ever been. And some people are like, oh, it's an abandoned hospital, like, but it's like you have to go to see it
to understand it.
But it's like paranormal wise, I deem it pretty active. I mean, there's a dark history, but also a sad history to the place. But it's also like, it's such a historic location and a giant piece of history. And like, yes, it's decaying, but it's in pretty good shape considering a lot of these places are like destroyed now.
Yeah.
But I think they're doing a good job trying to preserve it and clean it up. But it's It's like you want to go walk around a historic place. You want to ghost hunt. You want to go, like, I know that you also like to take pictures. It's ISS is photographer paradise.
It's got everything.
The best place ever, where I get the best photos. I adore it.
100%. Yeah, I encourage anybody who watches this that hears about the place to go check it out, because every day from like 9 to 5, you can pay like $25 and just go walk around and take pictures. But yeah, it's just, again, there's thousands of people that went through that place, and it was running till like 10 years ago, or a little bit more than 10 years ago, which is crazy that, people's, parents and grandparents were just there, and a lot of them didn't have family members and were treated very poorly. And it's sad, but like you said, it's just, when you're there, I think everyone that has ghost hunted there has some experience or some moment that made them realize that there's something there that's not human. That's, whether it's the dad or whatever you want to call it. And there's just that beauty. I've had so many moments, again, like people like charging at us a few years ago. I thought somebody was charging at us down a hallway. Turn around, there's nobody there. Like, just like things like that you don't experience anywhere else, that when you tell people, they think you're nuts or you're lying or you're faking evidence. But I'm like, you just have to go experience it yourself. Go there at 3 o'clock in the morning. We actually, really quick too, we did a sweepstakes this summer, and we actually flew in one of our followers, our subscribers, to come ghost hunt in an event with us. And he got a stomach ache and was throwing up outside, like after like 20 minutes in the 5-story, like legitimately, like almost had to leave. Just, for whatever reason, just wasn't comfortable, had a weird experience.
That's crazy.
And it's not always like that. It's not always bad. I don't want people to have that image of that place, but
I think
I
that
could tell you
goes for
stories
a lot
all
of
day.
locations, though, too. It's like sometimes you could
Every
go to the
place is
same
different.
place multiple times, and sometimes you're like, I want to leave. This place is fucked
And it's
up.
always
other times,
everybody's different as well. It's each person has that sensitivity level. Like
That too.
I don't feel anything in 90% of the buildings. Like I don't have that. I don't know. I feel like I don't have that ability to, like, I can empath in and have the feelings, but it's like I can hear, I can see, and that's why I feel like it's always, we talk about, I go under Estes and the building come alive. It's like I feel like the spirits might pick up on that, and it's like okay, he can channel in, doing an Estes, and it's like we can converse this way, but we will make things. I don't know if it's like they're hiding or until I'm blindfolded and I can't see or hear, and then like okay, now we can come out and have fun. And it's like everything's awake, and he's in that maybe like state of mind after I come out of it, and it's like okay, now I'm open to experiencing this.
Yeah, and a lot of it's probably your brain too. I mean, like you're kind of now it's telling you, but sometimes you tell yourself probably like, oh, there's nothing here, like you said, you don't feel things all the time. But when you're doing the Estes, like you just got to lock in on one thing. You're just trying to focus on what words are coming through. So maybe you're turning off your senses and just, they're like, all right, this guy's open now. Like we can talk to him. One of my favorite methods for sure. I love that.
It's so funny to kind of talking about like locations being different. Like I said, I give tours at Fairfield, and I check teams in for overnight investigations, and I've probably been there 50 or 60 times, and every single time I walk in there, it's different. Sometimes I can walk in and I'll check the building, make sure no raccoons are in. People break in every once in a while, so making sure that the doors are closed, there's no trash. And
Caleb is our professional raccoon wrangler.
He's our professional raccoon wrangler. But
lure him down the fireway.
Making sure that there's no one there, making sure it's safe. And sometimes I can do it completely by myself and it's not a problem. And then sometimes I walk in there and I'm like, nope. And I'll go sit. I'll go sit and wait in my truck. Like I won't even like sit in the building. I'll sit out in the parking lot over by the superintendent's house and wait for the team to show up, and then I'll do my walkthrough.
The first floor.
Yeah,
that is where you can really tell down. Like, what do you call it? Like a little stretch,
like right where the basement is,
or the funeral home.
No, the boiler space.
It's like there's like a little mini hallway where it's like sectioned off. I don't know how to explain it. I call it the stretch in the boiler room. But you walk through that and it's like, I mean, it's always dark, but it's like
it's real
extra dark. You feel like someone's standing at both ends of the hall. You feel like someone's standing in the boiler room, and like there's some days you walk down there and you could just walk on past, look in the boiler room. Oh, it's fine. Other days you walk and you're like, I'm gonna fucking sprint through here because someone's gonna get me. You're
gonna get a kick out of this. So we one of the guides from Madison, Charlie, it was his birthday, and he basically had reserved Fairfield for a couple hours. So him, Alex, one of his friends, me, Olivia, and a couple Brent, a couple of the other guys, we were kind of hanging out, having a like impromptu ghost hunt, and we're down on that first floor, and I was like, we'll do a double Estes. We'll put Olivia and Brent on opposite ends of that super dark hallway, but their backs are going to be facing into the boiler room. And we had been having some really weird stuff go on up on the 4th floor. And we were doing the session, and Olivia's saying some weird shit, Brent's saying some weird shit, and I'm standing at the bottom of the staircase, and I happen to look over at Charlie because he's starting to like go like this with his hand, and I'm like, dude, like are you okay? And he's like, yeah, my hand. And then all of a sudden, I'm on the floor, and all the lights are on.
What the hell?
The one singular sprinkler head on the 4th floor tripped, and the entire emergency system for the entire building kicked on. And like it kicked on all the lights,
which it is so fucking spooky.
Yeah, kicked on all the lights, and it's like 9:30, 10 o'clock at night, and it's dark as fuck.
Yeah,
lights kick on, sirens are going on, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like I'm like in the fetal position because all of a sudden I can see Jesus, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? But it was one singular sprinkler head up on 4. I think it was over by where we were getting a lot of weird like shadow movement activity. And to even make it a little weirder, the night before, do you know Lauren Hellickson?
Yes.
So her and Sharice Williams were doing an event at the Licking County Jail, because I give tours there as well. And we were helping with an event, and I left at like 1:30, and Darren texted me at like 2:45 and said, hey, the brand spanking new fire detection system got kicked off at 2:15 in the morning during an ESTA session where the person that was under was saying, fire, get out, smoke, and it kicked it off, and it's a brand new system. It's a brand new system.
That's wild.
And so not even 24 hours later, I'm at a different location, and the fire alarm goes off. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Something following you.
I say there's coincidences, and then there's that. There's
but like, I wasn't even at the building. I wasn't even at Licking County when it happened. I had left. But it was crazy.
So strange though.
Yeah.
But
no, I don't think.
Go ahead.
I don't know, I was just saying, it's just crazy, like what the coincidences like that happen. Like again, you could be at a different location, and I don't know if it's like something's following you or an attachment. I don't know what that is. That's so fascinating. I love hearing those stories.
Yeah.
But speaking of Licking County or FCI, if you're down here one time, I don't think you said that you've not been to Licking County yet, right?
Nope, I haven't
that
been
would be
there
a
yet.
good one to go to.
Yeah.
And then because
Love to.
they're basically on the same street, just like 40 minutes apart. Practically.
Oh, really? Okay.
They're like 40, 45 minutes
Yeah,
apart.
it's not
It's
very
like
far.
It's not far at all.
2 streets off 37, and they're connected.
The jail is great. I love the jail. I love Darren. He manages the paranormal side. They also do a jump scare haunt.
That's cool.
In the fall, and it's called the Jail of Terror. It's actually it wins a lot of awards. Like it's one of the more. It's not the top ranked one in Ohio, but it's up there. And he'd be more than happy to have you out. There's been a couple. I think like the Foreman brothers have been out there. Ghost Brothers, Ghost Adventures was there years ago. But it's pretty cool. You guys were just there. 2 weekends ago, and had some weird shit happen.
Yeah, we had a screw thrown at us, like a big thick washer just dropped on my foot, but there was nowhere in the room where it could have came from, so we don't know what happened, if it was tossed from another cell. No idea.
Yeah. That's weird. Yeah, I've heard a lot of stories about that place.
I think we could honestly even run both in one night, like start early at the jail and then go to FCI or something. Because the one thing I will say is Licking County is active at times, but it's like very like,
I think it's more residual.
Yeah.
Where FCI, I
100%.
feel like there's definitely something there that's
Oh yeah, especially it's such a different vibe when you have FCI with a smaller group of like 5 or 6 max.
Yes, no
then
more
it's
than
like,
that.
all right, let's come out.
Yeah, it's really, I love Fairfield. Just really quick before we forget about Fairfield,
no, you're good.
Yeah.
No, I was thinking it's funny. I was there in, I think, June of this year. My friend Lisa was hosting an event for a company she had. It was for Beyond the Shadows. I don't know if you heard of them, but they're not together anymore. It's a long thing. But we were there, we were driving back from ISS, I believe, because we drove to ISS, which was like 12 hours. But we just happened to be driving back. We stopped to see Lisa, one of our close friends, and we were just hanging out. Her tour ended at like 1 or 2 in the morning, and we just all went. There was like me, Jazz, Ben, Lisa, and a couple other people. We went just to take a picture on the stairs on the main floor. Like walked out, all the lights are on, sat on the stairs, set the camera on a tripod to take a picture. And like 3, 2, 1, as soon as like the flash went off, a door slammed upstairs. And insane, like one of the scariest moments of my life. Like we weren't filming. We all trampled over each other trying to get off the stairs because we were freaked out. I just think about, again, like the funny things at Fairfield. Like we weren't filming. It wasn't like a night for us. We were just literally hanging out.
We had
just wild.
I think it's that jail cell. Like I feel like that is what we captured being slammed because the building shook.
Yeah, we were on the 4th floor. I was under Estes in like the dark end of the
long hallway.
The long hallway up in the attic. And I'm facing like away from the stairs and stuff. Like I'm facing the guys who are at the end of the hallway. And I don't even remember what I said, but I feel like a big like thud or rumble under my feet. And we shine the flashlight at each other to like pull each other out.
Get out.
And I like take the blindfold off, and if Caleb's scared, that's how you know something's fucked. And I look over, and they're like this on each other, and they're like,
"Oh no!"
And I'm like, "What happened?" And in sync, the building fucking shook. The building shook, and I'm like,
"Holy shit!"
And like,
and you listen to the audio.
Never experienced anything like that before.
The first one is a loud boom. So then I go back under. Not even 60 seconds later, they do it again. And they're like, something fucking happened. The building
something
shook.
fell down the stairs that time.
Down the hall when you heard like it sounded. There's like shingle boards. And
I'll
stuff.
have Olivia send you the clips because we condensed them down into like 20-second clips. It sounds like we hear like what sounds like something sliding across the floor. So like I click my flashlight on to look down the hallway. And not even 3 seconds later, it sounds like something falls down the stairs.
Good God. That's insane.
We were the only 3 ones in the building. So I'm like, there's absolutely nothing in here. We've walked every foot of this place. It's definitely active.
It's nuts. I love that place. Again, I love Adam. I love all his properties. Fairfield, Madison. They're so like similar in my head, but obviously they're very different. But just I love those places. And Madison's like only 5 hours from me. I think Fairfield's 7, but anytime I'm always down to come out.
Another place to go too.
I think we're gonna try. Like I think sometime in February to do Fairfield again. If we give you enough a heads up, we'd love to have you get spooky with us. I think it'd be fun.
Let me know.
You can invite Justin.
Be a good time. Yeah, we'd love to. We said just come hang out even. Okay, I can always get film videos. Just come hang out and see what's up.
I mean, even if you want to, we could always try to do like a double night or 2 or something, and like
back-to-back thing.
One night hang out, one night film, or like if you guys also want to film, like one night you guys fully film, one night we fully film or something.
Yeah, it's big enough to split up too. There's enough room there, you know.
Yeah,
I think so. Switching gears again. So you said you've been doing YouTube for it'll be a year in March, you said. Do you have any big plans for 2025 for yourself? Any big locations you're gonna try to hit? Big plans? Gonna maybe go international? Like what's next for you for that 1 year anniversary coming up?
Yeah, so like this wasn't because it's like a 1 year anniversary, but like today we officially booked our flights to Japan for the first week of March. So that's going to be really cool. I don't know if you guys know about like the Asword Forest, the self-harm forest. I'll call it that. You're not supposed to say that on YouTube, but we're going to go there and try to film some videos. And to be completely honest, like me and Jazz both, it's funny because we didn't know each other growing up, but we're like the same people. We both love Pokemon. We've always loved Pokemon. And if you like Pokemon, you know, Japan's where it's all started, where it's from. So we're excited to go there and just kind of explore and just visit Tokyo and just see a different way of life. I've only been out of the country one time besides like Canada. I've been to Europe. I went to Amsterdam for a couple of weeks for a motocross race a few years ago, but I absolutely love Europe and just meeting different people, different cultures. And again, it's just a blessing to be able to do this. So that'll be
awesome.
The biggest thing this year. And then, I'm just pushing to get to 100,000 subscribers. I'm like 14,000 away from that, which is really exciting. So just a little milestones, but just little Chris never dreamed of this stuff because I truly never thought it was even possible to make YouTube videos for a living. It never even crossed my mind. So so just like, living a dream.
Kind of tying into that, I don't know how we made it 50 minutes in and we never had like this question asked, but how exactly did you get into like the paranormal haunted area?
You were fucking stupid. Why didn't we ask that at the very beginning?
Damn, podcast host.
Never asked how we got into it.
We got one brain cell. We're sharing it between us.
Look,
you guys are doing a good job.
We have 48 subscribers. Okay,
well, we're gonna get you guys up there. We're gonna push a big boost. You guys will hit big numbers this year. I promise.
Well, if we can hit 100, if we can hit 100, that would be cool.
See, the thing that,
like I said, that one brain cell.
1,000.
I had to give it to Olivia. That's why there was that weird pause. And she had to like
the Wi-Fi struggling.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to offend our TikTok fans. Anyways, we hit 1,000 fans or followers on TikTok in 8 or 9 days.
Damn.
Like, our videos were like,
fast.
We had shit tons of views, and then the likes were like not bad. It was like 100-ish, like 200. But for the first 8 days, we were like, damn. And we did lives, and like we averaged like almost 2,000 on our live streams. And
that's huge.
It's the short term versus long term.
But it's crazy because it's like we have that. Our Instagram has like 40 followers, and our YouTube has 48. And it's like, how can we, like, we try to push, but it's like, how can we take TikTok and apply it to, hey, we mainly do a podcast and investigations on YouTube and Spotify. So can we like
49.
take you guys and put you guys in different. It's like trying to get everyone to follow everything.
Yeah.
And I think that's like a hard aspect to it.
I'll answer how I got your question after this, but in my opinion, you won't. Like, it's not possible. I just think it's two different type of people.
Yep.
I've talked to a lot of people. I know a ton of people in this space who have big TikToks and smaller YouTubes. You're, in my opinion, no offense to your TikTok followers or fans, but you're better off focusing and locking in on your YouTube channel, even if you'd be better off having 10% of the YouTube followers that you do on TikTok, because the YouTube people are going to be there every time you post a video. They're going to be there for the video, whether it's 10 minutes or an hour or 3 hours. It's just, it's almost like they're there for different reasons. TikTok's just that quick dopamine hit, but people who are on YouTube, in my opinion, are way more passionate about what we do. I have like, again, this isn't a boast brag or anything. I have, 83,000 subscribers on YouTube. Again, very blessed. Like 20,000 Instagram. My TikTok has like 1,800, and I've never tried because I've watched my friends put so much effort into TikTok. They go to start a YouTube channel, and people don't go and watch. They don't subscribe. They don't follow. They'll get the followers, but the videos are, if you have 100,000 subscribers and you can't pull 1,000 views on a video, like, what's the point of that? It doesn't look good in my opinion. So I hope that you guys can grow this, and I hope that you stick with YouTube and really push it, because it'll pay off in the long run, in my opinion. The numbers won't always be as big maybe as you want them to, but it's a slow climb. Like TikTok's like boom, 1,000, boom, 10,000.
It's like we're trying to get it to, so like we do, well, it's been a struggle the past like month, so we're resorting everything and filming some stuff, but we're getting stuff banked out. And normally we do like bi-weekly, unless it's an investigation, then we'll put that out on like the Monday, and then the podcast out on Wednesday. But ideally we want to try to bank enough stuff up and hit enough locations this year to possibly do weekly for like consistency wise and everything else. It's just, we got to get everything banked up before we can hit consistency and pushing stuff out. But
it is like hard to get, like YouTube really rewards you for consistency, and they punish you if you don't. I took about 3 weeks off back in September, and I literally watched my views go from this to this, and then they're slowly climbing back, but it was only 3 weeks, and I don't know what happened between that time, but it really does reward you. If you can at least just post once a week, it's going to benefit you guys so much. Anybody watching this.
I remember having conversations with Connor about that, because he was always talking about it, and it stressed him out a lot, and he's making it work though. He's making it work, and I'm happy for him.
Yeah,
but
you gotta.
back to the question that Olivia asked.
Back to the question.
Yeah,
Sorry.
no.
That we somehow bypassed 54 minutes ago.
Yeah. How did you get
It's
into the
okay.
paranormal? I'll splice this to the beginning,
Look,
and
we're
then
very sporadic and we're all over the
cut it.
place. It's just how we work.
I
We
enjoy it.
collectively
It's good
share
combo.
one brain cell. So.
You guys are doing a great job managing it, though. I would have never known. No, so I to be honest with you guys, I like growing up, like I watched Ghost Adventures like probably 2008 or 9. I want to say maybe when they started. Like I watched the movie they did in Goldfield and all the episodes. I was always a fan of Ghost Adventures. I know a lot of people don't like Zach Bagans for whatever reasons. That's perfectly fine. Grew up watching it. Then I went and saw like Paranormal Activity when that came out, which is just obviously a movie, but that scared the crap out of me. Like I didn't sleep for like a week. I was so scared of that movie. But I've always loved the paranormal. But again, it was never something I was like, oh, I'm going to do this for a living. I would just kind of go like, there's a couple places where I live, like that restaurant I said earlier. There's another one called Beardsley Castle. Ghost Hunters actually went there. My parents and I would just go to those places and like have dinner and just, I don't know, just see if you have anything happen in the bathroom when you go take a quick break or something. It's always just been something I've liked and never really took that serious. I started working at Best Buy in 2017. That's where I met Yasko. He was also working there at the time. He had no YouTube channel. He came in one day and was like, bro, I'm going to start a YouTube channel and I'm going to try to make this my job. And I'll be honest with you, like I was doubtful. Everyone else around him was like, you're an idiot. You're not doing this.
I feel like
he's
that's
sitting
like
at
the
600
reality of people that like want to start YouTube.
Yes.
Everyone's like, okay, like everyone wants
They don't
to
support
do it, but can you actually like?
Yeah, and a lot of people like try it and it doesn't work out. But like he's sitting at almost 700,000 subscribers.
Like I feel like
he's
it's
an
so
amazing
much
person
more
for that.
rewarding in a way. It's like you want the support, but I feel like it's almost more rewarding when you do have people doubting you, because then when you make it to like the top or you start to become successful, then you can look on them and be like, what did you say?
Yeah, look at me now.
Yeah.
No, it is. And it's funny because I see those people now that, again, I know all the people that we worked with and they treat him like he's a celebrity when he walks into Best Buy now. They're like, Jez, what's up, bro? How's everything going?
Yeah.
It's no, not to be a dick or anything, but they were wrong because, you know, I watched them talk crap, you know, behind his back. Like he's just wasting his time. His videos are dumb. You know, he was opening mystery boxes from the dark web and really followed like the trends, but he did it.
It's entertaining. Like there's a reason why it's a trend. It's entertaining.
100%. And it's just kind of like how his channel got big, like just trying different things, not being stuck in one niche. It's hard to grow without that. Again, the paranormal is very contaminated. You guys see it. There's a lot of YouTube channels that do ghost hunting videos, which is tough. But just, you know, 2020 hit. Obviously, you guys don't have it in 2020. You don't want to get the video demonetized or whatever, taken down. But yeah, we were bored. I got laid off, and he randomly texted me one day. I was like, yo, you want to like film a video with me? And this is when we were doing Randonautica, which is, I don't know if you guys ever heard of that app, but
the old days.
The old days.
That's how we survived in 2020.
You guys played Randonautica?
Yeah, I've done it once. Yeah.
No way.
Could film a whole video about the shit that
Well, I'm glad that you have some experiences too, because it was some wild times. Unreal.
I won't bring this up either because I don't want our video to get taken down. But did you see like the viral suitcase store? Yeah. Yeah.
That's part of the reason like we kind of started it. And like the first day we did it, it was me, Jazz, and his fiance Jen, and we like used the word yellow, or like we would find us something yellow, and it brought us to a house that had like I think it was like a yellow bicycle out front, and we're like, you got to be kidding me! Like this is so like weird.
See,
but
my dumbass was one of the people where I was like, I want the haunted shit. I'm gonna put abandoned, urbex, murder, death, and I was like, well,
you get what you ask for.
Get what you ask.
Yeah,
100% get what you ask for. Sometimes
dark web fuckery.
It was scary stuff that we've experienced. People following us, probably not related to like that, but just us being in weird spots late at night, like we do now. But yeah, it was just one of those things where I started working for Jazz after we did that one video. Like we were just doing abandoned content. We were doing Randonautica. Then I got an opportunity to work for someone else who just did haunted content at the time. And my buddy CJ Faison, I started working for him in 2021. And ISS was actually the first place he brought me to, my first like real haunted location. Maybe that's why it's so special to me.
Meant to be. Meant to be.
I didn't make it 10 minutes in the 5-story by myself. Like I literally ran out. I was so scared. But no, like from there, like worked for CJ for a couple of years. I started doing my own thing on the side, and then I'm here now. But yeah, the paranormal was like, it just kind of fell into my lap. Never was part of the plan. Just the cookie kind of crumbled that way. And yeah, now I'm doing this crazy shit in these crazy places.
Yeah.
I got to ask you, with CJ's farm, any wild experience. I've watched some of his videos, and like the place looks just absolutely off the wall.
It's
like,
it's
it doesn't
wild.
make any sense.
No, it's I did a lot of like the property work there, like did a lot of like landscaping, clearing the yard, cleaning the house out. I always tell people this story, which is really funny, but when I was cleaning the house out, we had a skid steer, and I had the bucket up to the window because there was a couple feet of garbage in the house. The woman that moved out didn't have any of her stuff with her. Her kids didn't care about her. They left all of her belongings behind. Gets abandoned. People destroyed the house. So we had to clean it out. And it was daytime. I was there working by myself. I was climbing in and out of the windows to scoop the stuff in to the bucket to move it to the trash can because I was so scared to walk in the house by myself. Just because it's that heavy feeling that something's watching you and like standing there, like just watching your every move. I don't know what it is about the place. It was definitely, there's a lot of Native American history on the property. I think that's why. But yeah, that place is really cool. If you guys get to check that out sometime, definitely recommend it.
So
Delaware's
he's
got some
still
really
doing
cool spots.
investigations there. I know he had it up listed for a while, and then I saw it was like they weren't doing investigations or something, so I wasn't sure.
Yeah, I think they're back booking it. He actually has a guy. His name is John. He's like the security guy there. Does the tours now. I'm pretty sure you can still book it. Definitely recommend it. CJ doesn't really film as much ghost stuff anymore, but he still has the property. I know they're still keeping up on it and maintaining it. I was there a few months ago, and one of my mods, Sandy Kelly, she's an awesome person. She goes there like every few weekends and always sends me messages with stories she has, things that happen. It's a cool spot.
Nice. I love cool places like that are just consistently active.
Yep.
You made this comment about things like constantly watching you, and I don't know what made me think of it, but have you ever heard of the Anderson Hotel?
Is it in Texas?
It's in Lawrenceburg,
Kentucky.
Lawrenceville, Kentucky.
I feel like I've heard of it. I don't know why I thought it was in Texas, but
that place it was on Paranormal Lockdown with Nick Groff and Katrina, and
yeah, I love them.
I've been there.
Death Walker?
No, it wasn't on Death Walker. I've been there twice, and I took first time I went, we were the first team to go in since COVID, or whatever happened in 2020. And I had taken Caleb back, and they're not allowing investigations right now because the building sustained some damage at the beginning of last year when all those tornadoes were ripping through Ohio and Kentucky. But it's the one building that, like, you don't want to be the first person up the stairs. You don't want to be the last person up the stairs. You don't even want to be the middle person, because in like old school Scooby-Doo movies or TV shows, when they like walk by the open door frame and the hand like comes out and like tries to grab them.
That's how
that's that entire
every single room you walk past.
It's 14 deaths or something like that in it. Several self-inflicted. Tons of crazy stuff happens there. Like, we got a video on camera. I'll have to have Olivia send it to you, but there's a cat ball. It gets knocked off of a table, and it kept lighting up, and it got knocked off. But speaking of locations, I know you've been to a lot. What do you think would be your number, other than ISS, what do you think would be your number one location that you've ever been to, or your number one location that you are like, I have to go here before I die? Like, this is the one location that I have to go to.
Like a dream location.
Yeah, dream location. I don't know why I said that whole sentence.
We share one brain cell. It's okay.
Sharing is caring. It's fine. You guys are good. I'm trying to. So probably like might not be as like common of an answer, but I'd probably say the old hospital on College Hill. That's the place I've wanted to go to for a long time. Never got to go there, but I always see pictures. I just want to take my drone out and just shoot some shots. It looks absolutely beautiful, and I've heard so many good things.
Do you know what?
When you go, let us know. We will 100% go back.
I will.
Road trip.
I'll make a deal with you.
Okay.
We'll pick a date and we'll go, and I'll pay your way to get down to Old Hospital, because
I appreciate that.
That place,
we had
you don't gotta do that.
A great spooky ass time. Best footage, best Estes, everything.
Oh
SD
man,
card
card is fucking corrupt.
It's corrupted.
It's corrupted.
Oh no.
Everything.
Nothing.
I have never, like I said earlier, if Caleb gets scared, you're fucked. We're upstairs. I told this story the last episode when we had our friend Bree on, but
Yeah.
Regardless, I'm telling it again.
This is the third time that we've talked about Old Hospital because we stacked up a couple episodes today to film.
Yeah.
And
Best
Old
way to do it.
Hospital,
Everyone mentions it. Everyone knows it. It's
Listen, that's how you know it's that good.
it's wild.
It's that good.
we'll go soon.
I'll
I promise you,
shorten
we'll go soon.
it, but basically,
So down.
I'm filming B-roll up on the top floor where the OR is with Caleb.
No, we were on the third floor.
And, was it?
Mhm.
Oh, regardless, we're up there filming B-roll, and you hear like a. And he looks at me, and I look at him. He's like, "Dude, I don't fucking know." Like at this point, we had a crazy night. We're ready to get out of there.
Get out of there.
All of a sudden, it's like there were wind chimes outside. It wasn't a wind chime. It was like machinery.
I swear, now that I think it
was
sounds like when you turn a ventilator on, like in the hospital. That's what that noise was.
You got that.
Oh, okay.
No sooner did it sound like that. All of a sudden, it was like a. And he looked at me, and before I could say a damn thing,
nope, I'm out.
Booked it. Meanwhile, I have a video camera, my photo camera, and my phone, and huddled up in a blanket like this.
I ran past
like,
the stairs, and she's like, "Where are you going?" I said, "I don't know, but not here."
He's like, and I'm trying to run down the stairs, huddled up in a blanket, carrying 3 fucking cameras. He's like, "Move, I'll leave your ass. I'm gonna fucking kick you down the stairs. Go."
Get down there now.
And
Something
they're all
was behind me.
They're like, I'm like, dude, we're ready to go.
All I can say to that is that there's a reason that I do B-roll with headphones in, but no, go ahead.
Old Hospital. Caleb and I went twice last year, and it's tied with Madison as one of the most crazy active places that I've ever been to.
Yeah.
And I've been to probably
it's amazing.
30 or 40 locations, all over the place. And I mean, when we went the first time, it was me, Caleb, and 2 of our friends, and it was nonstop activity from the moment we walked in to the moment we left. And like, I'm not talking, oh, we heard a couple little taps here and a couple little taps there. It was full conversations between a man and a woman. We heard
on EVP.
doors opening and slamming. Caleb was down in the basement, which is where the children's section was. There's a huge ass long hallway, and it kind of splits into the left and a right, and that's where the X-ray rooms are. And we put Caleb under Estes, basically at the end of the hallway, with each doorway to the left and to the right. And it's dark as fuck down there. Can't see anything in front of you. And we're probably 20 yards down the hallway. And the 3 of us
all the way at the end of the hallway.
Yeah, we left his ass down there, and we're like asking questions, and he's like, "Guys, I feel someone walking around me," and I was like, because we were having like some weird stuff, like what we thought was like a child down there, and we're like, if you need help, like touch Caleb on the right shoulder. Now, mind you, we're 20, 30 yards away from him. Not even 5 seconds after I say touch him on the right shoulder, he goes, "Guys, something just touched my right arm." Like, just immediately. It was
insane.
It was insane.
We took a Furby there.
Fuck that.
One of those old creepy toys.
Yes, I had one.
So I don't know exactly how they work, what makes it work, but we sat it facing into a room by itself. You know, normally they just make random noises. This thing was acting like a ghost. It was just going, "Ooh, ooh," and we're like, "What is this doing?" I've never heard it make that noise before. And it was one of those, my buddies, he took it back to his house. He's like, "I'm not putting batteries back in it. Nope, not touching it."
Kicked it out a window down the mountain. Oh,
yeah. Like those things are creepy anyway. And then you put it in a haunted building. You're like, okay, what's making it act like this?
Yeah. But
I love that.
We'll definitely go. I mean, maybe like
Please.
when it's
very cold.
It's very cold. So we'll try to go
maybe like
in early spring.
Yes.
Being that
April
you're doing YouTube full time, during the week probably works for you.
Of course. Yeah.
That's a nice thing. Like
anytime.
if I'm not traveling, I can request some PTO, and if we can line it up with Caleb's schedule, we'll definitely get it going. Kind of going in with favorite location. Is there any location like internationally? I know you said you're going to Japan and you're going to that forest, but any other like location, like I would love to go to this location. I gotta make it happen.
I'm probably not up to date on my locations overseas as well as I want to. Probably the catacombs would be cool in Paris.
Yeah.
Or any old castle. I want to go to like an actual old like 15, 16, 1700s castle and just see what that's like, because I'm sure the energy's got to be so much crazier than anything we've ever felt before.
Yeah,
I love castles. I think they're so cool. In Romania or
do you want to
anywhere.
go to the ancient Ram Inn in August?
Yes, 100%. Yes, I know Kleini's been there a bunch too. I'd love to go check that place out.
We are going in August.
You guys are going to UK?
Yeah, because we figured why not
in a nuclear bunker.
Yeah.
No way. So, that's sick. What do you know? What dates you're going?
26th to the 31st of August.
Because we have 27th is the bunker.
No, is the
Ramshead Inn.
Oh, we're doing that one first?
Yeah. We switched them.
Yeah, and the 28th is the bunker.
Well, you might just get a phone call randomly. You're like, hey, are you guys in the UK? Like, weird, I'm here too. That's crazy.
Crazy.
I didn't know.
It's cool because
stop on by.
The bunker should be interesting because it's a Cold War era bunker.
No way.
It's 126 feet underground, and has its own Faraday cage built around it.
Be isolated AF.
So
yeah, it's gonna be wicked. We get stuff on like the
type of
SB7 at that low underground. Nothing should be coming
there.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. So we figured like why not? Like we don't have kids and like
we have free will.
Yeah, we've got like
so
my work's
people ask me why I don't have a dog. That's why I don't have a dog, because I couldn't do it. There's no way.
I've got cats, but like my brother will watch
self-sustaining.
My brother will watch the cats, but
yeah, he'll be fine.
Well, we've been going for over an hour, and we want to be cognizant of your time. Is there anything you want to touch on? I mean, I feel like we really got to know you, and it was awesome to have you on.
Absolutely.
And it's mind-blowing, just even from talking for an hour. Like you seem outstanding. So it's kind of crazy to me that no one's invited you onto a podcast.
I appreciate that.
Also, the coolest thing about all three guests that we've had on today is I've met all three. I've had you, Bree from Spooky Happy Hour and Paranormal Theory. Yep. I met all three at Adam's Cons, which those are the best spots for networking, new friendships,
absolutely,
everything in between.
100%.
So,
I
quick
always tell
to
people
the Kimmel Cons.
Yes, the Kimmel Cons, MadCon,
but
FCI, ISS.
They're great. Adam's great. Adam's properties are great.
They're so good. He's such a good person. Adam, Addie, everybody there. No, I don't know. I'm kind of, I don't want to talk about myself much, but I just appreciate you guys having me on. Like I said, it feels like I've known you guys for a long time and I haven't. We should just do another episode sometime if you guys want.
Yeah,
I feel like
absolutely.
Like anything here, anytime, just let me know. I'm just a normal dude. I feel like I'm just like I don't look at myself like I'm anybody because I'm really not. I'm just
maybe sometime we can get you and Jas out on the podcast together.
Yes.
Since you guys investigate and do stuff together, it would be cool to kind of have you guys do like shared experiences on the podcast.
Oh man, I'm gonna have to censor that one, but yeah, we can definitely do that.
We can edit.
I'm not gonna say if. I'm gonna say when we all get to investigate together.
Yes.
We do podcasts like recaps on site, so I think that would be a really cool thing too to do with you guys.
100%. No, I'm all for it.
We've caught a couple really cool things. Like we were at the Monroe House, and we did it at the Monroe House, and we did it at Beale, and we caught some of the craziest stuff through because we're using powered mics and stuff like that. Like we caught some of the craziest stuff, talking and objects going off and stuff that like we couldn't hear normally, but we could hear through these mics. So we think that's pretty cool. But yeah, we'd love to have you guys on again.
Of course.
Maybe what we'll do is we'll look in the next couple weeks. I've got a pretty busy travel schedule coming up, but maybe we can try to get something in at Fairfield or something like that.
100%.
Or Licking County. And if you guys want to make the drive, we can get spooky together. But definitely soon we'll get you guys back on.
Me too.
At least we'll get you back on, talk for more than an hour. And
100%.
We can really dive into some fun stuff. But
just reach out. I don't mind.
But before we jump off, anything you want to say to our 49 subscribers or anything? We're obviously going to link all your stuff, all your links and everything down in the comment section and down in the description and stuff like that. But any last thing you want to say before we kick you loose?
No, just appreciate you guys for having me on. I was the only thing I ever ask for people, is location advice and new locations and things people want to see us check out. I love traveling. I love seeing new things. I love seeing small towns, big towns, you name it. So just talking about going to the old hospital, which would be awesome to do this year. But just if you guys have any cool locations you want to see,
we'll make it
myself or you guys check out. Let's do it. It'd be fun to. We'll do some fun collabs this year for sure, and I'm sure if you guys are at any of the cons, I'll see you guys there. It'll be a really good time, and thanks for having me on. Nice to meet you guys.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
Well, if you guys made it to the end of this video, thank you for sitting down, listening as we talk to our friend Chris. Give him a follow on all of his social medias. He's super close to hitting 100K. So
Thanks.
Go ahead and give him a follow. But thank you guys for listening to another episode of Shadow Sessions Paranormal, and we will catch you guys next time. Thank you guys. Thanks.
See ya.